to a brand new episode of Business Tips for Trading Across Borders, brought to you collaboratively by the USAID Partner Activity and the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce. Today, we are in a new era where supply chain digitization is shaping global trade in a big way. What is the potential Sri Lankan firms have to connect to these new supply chains which are digitized? So, to have a conversation on this, we have Mr. Dinesh De Silva, Senior Trade Facilitation Expert of the USAID Partner Activity, joining with us. Welcome to the show, Dinesh. So, there's a global shift towards digitizing supply chains. What's really driving it, Dinesh?
Well, when it comes to the global level digitization, there are bigger reasons which have brought the trading community to this platform to give them the need of moving to digitization, for the fact that the supply chain continuously keeps changing, right? And at the same time, the challenges that they face are very unpredictable in that sense, right? So, when we analyze the situation, especially prior to COVID, it was a different ways of working, but after COVID, there is an urgent need for the companies to move to digitization, simply keeping the customers on their mind and also focusing a very strict focus on the price. So, based on those, the companies have been really driving their digitization agenda to maintain the price plus service, right? And having said that, you see, at a global level, after COVID pandemic, then there are different other reasons coming up, like the Russia-Ukraine war, which is also going to be already giving quite a lot of supply chain disruptions. And then China and Taiwan trade tensions, it's also brewing up. So, when you look at the bigger picture, the companies are taking a very serious look at how they are going to improve their supply chains, and the answer is going digital. And I think at the same time, one more thing, like operating systems like blockchain is also going to play a very vital role in this game.
Thank you, Dinesh. So, I think let's zoom into Sri Lanka now. So, as we know, digital transformation in supply chain requires a lot of planning, especially on the operational side of it. So, how do you think Sri Lankan firms should approach it?
See, the global companies are very much advanced, and their infrastructure within their countries also very much advanced, supporting digitization big time. Now, when you compare that to Sri Lanka has different challenges. You know, we are always, except for some multinationals and some conglomerates, other companies are a little bit behind in terms of digitization. The reason is that most of the companies think that as a cost, and it's a real challenge for them. You know, they haven't seen the bigger picture, whereas they should look at digitization as a future investment. So, without looking at that investment scope in it, companies have really not taken initiatives to move digital. Now, the fact is that the top leadership of Sri Lankan companies, except for big companies that as I said, they have to really understand the purpose of digitization. Until such time they have a very clear view about the method and the business model that you are going to apply digitization, you will not see the real benefits of it. you got to understand the business model that you are in, whether it is your B2B or B2C. Depending on that model, you have to take a stock of it, and especially the willingness of moving to digitalization should come from the top management down, because employees, when you consider, they will really not know, or they will really not have a drive to go there. So the company leadership have to educate them, let them understand the benefits, personal development plus business. So in that sense, the initial drive should come from top to the company.
Sure. So Dinesh, you said that when you take the firm context, especially, that you need a top-down approach to digitize the supply chain. But if I'm to step out of the firm environment a bit, and if we focus on, let's say, more on the policy setup, do you think the policy environment matters? And whether the policy environment can really play a complementary role where firms can more effectively, put efforts towards digitization of their supply chain?
You see, the companies can go digital within a particular scope. A company from the start to the end within their scope, which means their suppliers and buyers, connecting them, they can be digital. Digital, the purpose of being digital is going to be paperless technically, right? All digital transactions. And now you can be within a limit, but then moment you step out of it, like you quite rightly said, and which is going to be international trade. And there you need certainly policy support, government support, giving the enablers for the companies to connect and operate smoothly. Because the whole purpose is here cost and service, customer in mind always. So customer service is the only thing that will keep you going, a business will sustain. With this changing environment, you need support from policy level. So when we talk about policy level support, especially when you are digitized, when you do everything electronically, the same output has to be connected with other agencies as well. So in international trade, it's very critical that we have board agencies, Sri Lanka Customs being a leading board agency, and all of them to be at the same level, and at the same time they should be connected through a platform which we expect that to be the national single window. And having said that, there is another supporter which is the Electronic Transaction Act with the acceptance of the e-signatures. So all those elements have to be connected and aligned for a smooth movement of the digitization, especially connecting the businesses within the business and then going out, connecting the board agencies, then you are connecting the overseas suppliers or buyers as well. So now in this with this support, it's not only the local businesses, you are opening the doors, you are giving the right signal to the external world, because the foreign direct investors are also looking at these kind of flexibilities, smooth operations in a country, and that encourages them for investing in Sri Lanka as well. So overall, when you take it, digitization is so critical going forward. I mean, as a country, Sri Lanka, although we have been a little bit backward, now is the time, with all these pressures, external pressures, we must take the forward step, and at whatever the level that you are in operating, you must try and get your house in order in terms of this digitization. Then with the government support, with the external platforms in place, I guess we can move to the next level, and Sri Lanka should move to the next level.
Thank you very much, Dinesh. So, as you mentioned, digitization of supply chain is not really a future trend, but rather today's reality, and the firms should really take a top-down approach to operationalize it, and there are many other enablers especially in the facilitation environment, the government can really do to support this great journey for Sri Lankan businesses. So it's been extremely insightful having this conversation with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for joining with me. With this, we wrap up today's conversation. And please stay tuned for similar episodes on business tips for trading across borders.